Hey there guys, it's Kim George here from YourChicGeek.com, and I want to welcome you to a brand spanking new video. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at basically how long it took me to make my first 1K or $1,000 with KDP and publishing low content books. I know there's a lot of videos out there that say that, if you just publish all these different kinds of books, you're going to make all this great money. And so we're going to see. We're actually going to see. So before we dive off into this video, I'd love for you guys to like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that when I do publish new videos, you will be notified and all of that good stuff. And then also, I have a free swipe file that consists of 101 epic passive income products that you can create and sell online. So if you're interested in getting that swipe file, the description is going to be below this video. But let's go ahead and dive off into this video, guys. All right, so we are over in the back end of my KDP Champ account, and there's a link below with KDP Champ. For those of you that are interested, this is the tool that I use to monitor, how well I'm doing with KDP, my spending. It shows you everything. It shows you historical data. It shows you your marketplace stats, to where you'll see which marketplace you're selling the most books in. It shows you your book stats, all kinds of stuff. So I think this tool is very, very phenomenal. But let's take a look here. I had mentioned in a video interview that I did with Rachel Harrison's son that I got started with publishing low content books in around March of 2021. And I realized in logging into the back end of my KDP Champ account that definitely was correct. I thought I was off, but I wasn't. So we're going to take a look over into this back end to just kind of see how things went. So in March of 2021, this is when I started my KDP low content publishing journey. You can see here that I had made some free book sales. And I just want to caveat this because I do want to let you guys know, and this is something I forgot to mention, is that I have had an Amazon KDP account for a number of years. I actually started my account way back in like 2012, 2015, and I tried my hand at publishing some of the higher content books, but it just didn't pan out. I had, was paying people a lot of money, and, I just wasn't seeing the kind of return that I wanted to on my income investment, right? So I just kind of left it alone for a long time until I discovered low content publishing. So that is why you will start, you will see a couple of little, sales and things like that. Like you can see here in the video that it says book sales for free. That is with KDP, the KU Kindle Unlimited. I did have some people that were kind of, getting access to one of the books that I had published. So, but anyways, that explains that. But I did get started with low content book publishing in 2021 of March. Okay, so let's move on. So as I started with low content book publishing, you're going to see here that it was a pretty rocky start. So started in March. So we're going to move over to April. You can see that someone bought some kind of ebook that I had published. I made around $2.60. I had some KDP reads here. So my gross royalties in April of 2021 was, let's see here. Let's see, my gross royalties were $2.76, and that's because somebody had bought a book. And then you can see that I was in the negative really, really bad because I was trying out ads and I didn't know what the heck I was doing for a negative $50.05. I had spent $52.81 on ads. So you can see that I had started to try something to say, hey, I'm going to try running some ads and see how it goes. I heard that ads are going to solve this problem with helping me to sell more books because I was really trying. Now, I'm not really sure at this point how many books I had, but, we're just going to go through the income because that's what I wanted to talk about here. Okay. Now we're going to go over to May of 2021. So you can see that for paperback books, I did sell 6 books, which is great. My book royalties from selling those books was $17.39. My gross royalties were $17.39. Now look at this with the ad spend, because again, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I spent $150.32 on ads, and I netted a negative $132.93. Now, this is why I do say that before you get started with spending all of this money with ads, you do need to know what you are doing. Now, I have a couple of ad videos that I'm going to link to the bottom of this in the description for this video for those of you who are getting started with ads and you want to kind of learn, some of the ropes and get started very slowly with easing into ads, because as you can see here, you can lose a lot of money if you do not know what you're doing. So I'm going to link to those videos that I have. I have one that talks about setting up an automatic ad campaign, which is what I recommend that beginners start with. And then I have another that talks about how to set up a manual campaign. But you can see my road here is looking very shady. Okay, it's not looking so great. All right, but let's keep going. Okay, so over into the next month, in June of 2021, you can see that my sales started to increase. So I sold a total of 81 books. My book royalties were $246.35, which is great. And then my gross was the $246.35. I spent around $99.77 on ads. And so I did net $146.58. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. That was June. Right, July, you can see the income rose even more. So I sold 101 books. My book royalties were $408.83. I spent $61.13, so less on ads. And so I netted $347.07. So it looks like we're trending upward and things are getting a little bit better, right, as the months are going. But let's keep going here. All right, so that was July. Okay, so let's go over to August. All right, so August, I had 140 books that I sold. I had made $538.84. I had some KDP reads in there, so some people were reading some of the books that I had. I made 25 cents from that. So my gross royalties were $539.09. I had spent $81.95 on ads. So my net profit was $457.14. So it looks like we're tracking and we're tracking on. Okay, so now we're going over into September. So you can see that things are getting really interesting, right? So my book sales in September was $223. I'm sorry, 223 books. I sold 223 books. My book royalties were $826.93. I had 263 KDP reads or KEMP reads. I made $1.17 from that. My gross royalties were $828.01. And so that's 10 cents. And so that's what I made gross. My ad spend this month was $75.84. So I'm getting better with the ad spend because this is where I kind of learned a little bit more about how to run profitable ads. Okay. So $75.84 for the ad spend. And so my net profit in the month of September was $752.26. So we're tracking upwards, right? So the next month, okay, I made I sold 273 books, made $981. I had a gross royalties of the $981. Ad spend went way down, which is great. I only spent $46.64, made $934.49. So we're cooking, right? Now, what I will say is you can notice is that October, November, and December are some of the better months for sales because this is what's considered to be Q4. Okay, so in Q4, this is where a lot of people make the majority of their money from KDP, myself included. So you're going to see that this is where things really started to take off. Okay, so we're going to skip on over to November. All right, so November, this is where I actually had my first $1,000 month with publishing low content books on KDP. So book sales, 337. I made my book royalties. I brought in $1,217.41. I had 62 KEMP reads. I made just 30 cents from that. So my gross royalties were $1,217.07. Now in this month, I spent $185.46 on ads. So I brought in a net of $1,032.24. So this is where I actually made my first $1,000 plus with publishing low content books on KDP. Okay. Then I'm going to come over to December, and this was probably definitely the best month, right? It's definitely without a doubt the best month. So this is 806 books is what I sold. This is my first Q4. So I'm really proud of this. So 806 books. I made $2,955 with those sales. I had 51 KDP reads. I made just 24 cents from that, but total gross, I made $2,955 for the month of December. Now my ad spend didn't go up because I am pretty aggressive in Q4. So I made I spent $356.41 on ads. And so I took home after that gross or netted $2,598.93, which is really great. So what I wanted to show you guys is that it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months of consistent work and consistent publishing before I made my first $1,000 on KDP with publishing low content books. So forget about all the stuff that you read with, oh, if you publish all these notebooks and things like that, you're going to make all this great money. You're going to make $10,000 a month. You guys can see here from my account with me going over, what I've made, that it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of work to get to this point. Now, what I wanted to share with you are the 3 things that I think that made the biggest difference in me starting off in the negative, which is at a negative $50, to crossing the $1,000 point, which was in November of 2021. So from March up until November, these are the 3 things that I really think made the biggest difference in my KDP journey in the business. Number 1 is going to be research. This is something I talk about extensively. Or not talk about extensively, but I always try to drive this point home. You cannot escape doing the research. I know there's a lot of videos that kind of talk about great niches and things like that you can, get into and that you can create low content books from and all of that good stuff. And that's great. That's really, really great, right? And those videos are very helpful and you can definitely take things away. But you cannot get around getting out there and doing the research and validating things yourself. So I have a video that I actually did, I think it was last week, that you should check out for those of you that are interested in learning how to go about in my process and how I go about, finding a niche and then validating that niche. Number 2 is going to be design and branding. So I'm putting these 2 in the same kind of bucket because they kind of go together, but not necessarily. So on the design front, listen, I don't care how much money you're throwing at ads or how much money you're spending on ads. If your design is not on point, your books are not going to sell. It just is what it is. It is really a mature market, as I've heard someone say. It is competitive. And so if you want a chance of standing out and creating something that's going to have a chance of someone clicking on it and buying, your design has to be on point. So just want to state that. Now, on the branding side, this is something that definitely has made a difference for me. And I'm actually going to be creating a course, and I'm working on a course that's going to go a lot more in depth about branding. Because while it's okay when you're starting out to just, create book after book after book and just kind of put it out there and throw it out there, establishing a brand can really take you much further. As a matter of fact, the bulk of the sales that I make come from 2 of my main brands on KDP. And I'm proud to say that, right? So there's 2 lines of books that I have for 2 different brands in 2 separate niches that make the majority of my sales. So this is why I think that branding is really, really important. And it's ever more important these days when you're publishing low and no content books on KDP. Okay. And then the last thing is having a budget of some sort to spend on ads. I'm not going to say that ads are the end all be all on KDP because there are people that are crushing it without ads. There are people that are using things like TikTok, using social media, coming up with other ways to get their books out there without spending on ads. But for me, ads work. They really, really work. And since I have gotten to the point where I'm comfortable with running ads and I kind of understand them a little bit more, I'm okay with spending the money to push my books out there a little bit more and investing in advertisements. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. And I just wanted to show you, you know, kind of what it really takes and the effort it really takes to getting books out there, to publishing books. Just show a little bit of my journey to getting to my first 1,000 bucks with Amazon KDP, publishing low content books, and just kind of the 3 things that I would definitely hope that you take away from this video that I really believe made the biggest difference in my journey. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Where are you on your publishing journey? Have you made your first 500 yet? Are you still trying to make your first 500? You know, what is the biggest frustration that you have with publishing and earning on KDP? I'd love for you to comment below and let me know. Thanks so much again for watching this video. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.